We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
Let's talk about climate change. Man, I'm excited for this one. This all started with a Instagram post that I posted yesterday, and this has so many comments on it. It got like hundreds of comments, way more than I normally get, and this got completely taken out of context, exactly what social media is all about, right? It's all about Greta Thunberg, I apologize, and Salamudra Thimaka, right? This is the post here. I'll just show you on my phone right here. This post that I wanted to really just get out there as far as being a puppeteer, right? So many people are really charged up and passionate when it comes to climate change. This is great. So here's the meme, right? This it's titled, "Why is one a global celebrity and the other you've never even heard of?" Right? On the left, we have Salma. She planted over 8,000 trees at her own expense as a laborer and has no formal education. On the right, we have the great Greta Thunberg, and all she's done is get emotional, right? And said, "How dare you?" I'm just going to scroll down to the comments. Right now it has 141 comments. I'm sure it'll have way more by the time you watch this video. And like I said, I just had to, put in my 2 cents here. People are, putting nails through my wrists on the cross as we speak. And it's funny, to me, honestly, this is really, serious when it comes to climate change. It's exactly why I'm vegan. It's exactly why I do the things that I do. I just want to read some of these comments for you here. Look how many people are getting triggered. Like this person, "Did you get hacked? Are you seriously turning on each other? Oh my gosh, puppets playing with emotions like crazy. Because Greta Thunberg is cute and awesome." See, some people get it. Some people really understand the truth. "How dare you reduce her to nothing? She's 16 and already has made a profound impact in environmental sustainability. What have you done?" So many people just want to throw you up on the cross. That's what social media is for. And honestly, I just have the courage to talk about this stuff. I mean, that's what I really want to do, is promote sustainability, natural living. I mean, I've been vegan for over 11 years. How about that? I mean, how about all the things that I've done as far as living completely off the grid, zero waste, traveling on my bicycle thousands of miles. I mean, you name it. I'm not here to, toot my own horn or anything. I'm just telling you, I am very much an advocate for green living. I live very sustainably. I'm almost zero waste. I do so many things. I'm so conscious about the environment, and yet here I am getting thrown up on the cross, right? So at the end of the day, climate change, is real. Climate change, global warming, whatever you want to call this. I mean, it's happening right now. There's no denying it. There are so many studies on the internet, and I just want to pull up a few things that came to my attention when it comes to climate change on the internet, okay? Because there is so much going on when it comes to climate change, and you have to really follow the money here. Follow the sources. Follow the, puppeteers, right? Because I guarantee you there's a reason why Greta is on the national headlines, right? And people like Salamudra are not. First of all, let's check in a little bit about this here. Jump on the computer with me. Salamudra, I just looked her up on Wikipedia. Let's just throw a few facts out there. She's an Indian environmentalist from the state of Karnataka, noted for her work in planting and tending to 385 banyan trees along with 4-kilometer stretch of highway between Hilka and Kudar. She also planted nearly 8,000 other trees. With the support of her husband, she found solace in planting trees. She received no formal education, has worked as a career laborer in near quarterly. She has been honored with the National Citizens Award of India. Her work is recognized by the government of India, and she was conferred by Padma Shri in 2019. Another note to mention that I looked up earlier, she's 107 years old, right? So obviously she is doing way more than any individual that I know. I mean, there are more people that are talking about climate change, but let's look at Greta here real quick and just see all I did was type in Greta Thunberg climate change on Google. And just notice where these articles are coming from, okay? And that's all I want you to do, is open up your mind's eye to this. Start asking questions. Start really thinking about climate change. Start thinking about the real action that you can take in your own community, instead of just being emotionally led into this conversation. Okay, let's put our emotions aside for a second, please, because I guarantee you that's what's happening right now with Greta. She's young, she's attractive, she's got this passion, she's reading from a script on all of her speeches and everything that she's doing. I mean, I think she's an implant. We don't have to get all conspiracy fear-based in this video. I just wanted to talk about climate change as a whole because I believe in you taking the action back in your environment, in your community. That's really where it comes down to. So look at all this. I mean, USA Today, NBC News, The Guardian, news.com, Wikipedia, CNN.com. Okay, I mean, none of that happens when you pull up Salamudra. I mean, she is just a very innocent being. MSN is probably the most coverage that she's gotten, right? So think about this. Think about the sources. Like I said, follow the money. All of these sources from Salamudra are 100% legit. And then when I go to research Greta or just talk about climate change in general, I mean, come on, it's a bunch of emotional garbage. It's a bunch of nonsense here. You know, I want to keep this positive. I want to keep this conversation, in the light. Let's just click on one of these for fun. I don't condone any of these news channels at all. I just want to tell you guys what's going on and, see it from the inside out. Greta Thunberg calls for action at the UN Climate Summit, produce few commitments to combat global warming, but she's not done yet. Oh my gosh, what is she going to do? She hasn't planted a single tree. She hasn't done anything except for get all emotional about it to trigger you into changing the environment, right? Getting political leaders, go vote, go do this, go do that. Well, guess what? None of that is going to do anything. Not a darn thing. This is going to happen in our own center, in our own community, taking action, just like Salamad here, planting all of these trees, okay? She fixed her eyes and the world went nuts. This video staring at Trump went viral, and conservatives like Arizona Republican Party Chairman Kill Ward went on the attack, calling her a delusional child. I'm not going to get on any side of the vote here. All I can tell you is that I can guarantee you social media is a big part in our awakening, and it's a big part as far as the puppet and puppeteer show that is happening right now. So that's really all people do. I mean, none of this is credible, right? Social media is not credible. Social media is not science. It has nothing to do with real facts. Just because Trump is on Twitter doesn't mean that all of this stuff is all of a sudden, facts. And calling her a teen activist, right? That's going to be the biggest thing to really get you guys off of your seats, out of your job, and pay those tax money dollars and all that good stuff, right? So, this is a bigger thing that's happening when it comes to the rich and the poor, dividing us. That's what they're doing, dividing and conquering. So wake up, people. Yes, everything that you do affects your climate, affects your space, your community, what your actions that you are doing, the recycling, the consumption, every little thing, every drop of water that you consume, everything that you're filtering, everything that you do is affecting the planet. Yes, at the same side of that, people understand this through social media. Therefore, they're not going to be convinced easily anymore. It's not like you can just get some scientist and talk about climate change or show pictures of the ocean or talk, all these headlines. Notice how dramatic this is getting. Notice how engaging this is getting just for your emotions, just to get you all caught up and fired up into this. And it's not getting anybody anywhere. At the end of the day, I promote, people like Salamudra here who are completely nonviolent, who live within ahimsa, who live within all the wonderful things that I'm all about. I do so much on the community level, here in my community in Hawaii here. I want to be somewhere where it is very in tune with the environment. I mean, I have to harvest my own water. I get food. I talk to farmers. I'm doing so much when it comes to activating that higher self, activating what it means to be a spirit soul right now. That's the thing. We got to get out of that emotional brain, get out of all that reactivity in life and ground yourself. Start carrying your water, getting your food, right? It's that good old saying, like, chop the food, carry the water. We need to get in tune with these natural rhythms of life and get out of that consumption mindset. For me, back in the day, Cowspiracy was a big documentary. I'll link a few more in the description of this video and a couple little tidbits that you can, research for yourself. But again, I don't trust any of these news channels. I don't trust CBS. I don't trust Fox, NBC. I don't trust anything like that. And I especially don't trust social media. All you can do is do you. All you can do is have that path of the heart, really awaken to what it means to affect the change, be the change that you want to see in your community, right? There are so many viral pictures all over the world right now that are blowing up, from plastic in the oceans, or fish dying rapidly by the millions, or birds falling. I mean, what about the bees? I mean, I can go on and on and on. This video could be hours long, right? And again, I don't want this to be any fear propaganda. I'm just here to spread my message, which is always going to lead you back to something natural and sustainable, right? I mean, I've witnessed this firsthand in Alaska, where people hunt and fish. I've lived, many places where it's just more in tune with the rhythms of nature. That's what I'm all about. That's why I live here in Hawaii. I'm so tired of the politics, from California and other places that I live when it comes to climate change. And at the end of the day, nobody's taking action here. That's what I'm certified in. I'm a Raja yoga teacher. I teach Kriya yoga. Kriya means action. We have to take action. You have to be that change that you want to see in your own community with your own two eyes. This wonderful woman, she's 107 years old, and she's planting trees. Okay? Think about that. What are you going to do when you're 107 years old, right? Are you going to be that change? Are you going to be the thing that you want to see in your community to grow? I mean, I'm thinking about my kids. I'm thinking about my kids as kids. What can we do right now? I mean, come on, being vegan is such an easy approach. That's so simple. And again, social media is going to twist all of this stuff. They're really going to twist people's words and get you all riled up into something, to get you triggered, so you can then just go on social media more and just post about it, right? So I'm tired of this, artificial, superficial world that we live in, and I need to, see people doing real things. That's why I posted the thing that I posted yesterday on social media. That's why I do this. That's why, I want to talk about this in a very conscious way, because everything that you're doing is affecting the planet. Everything that you do, the car that you drive, the food that you eat, the water that you drink, the air that you breathe, every action reciprocates back into you. So start being that change. That's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. Please stop putting all of this, emotional reactivity into the world and getting all fired up about, honestly, something that is, we haven't even talked about the natural rhythms of the earth. Right? Think about that. Think about these larger cycles that are happening on the earth. Of course, we are affecting the planet. I'm not saying we don't affect the planet. I'm not saying that carbon emissions and, greenhouse gases, all these things are affecting the planet. What I'm telling you is that what's important is what you do in your own single community, your own family. Something as simple as recycling, reducing plastic waste, going as zero waste as you possibly can, removing the landfills, getting all that junk out of the landfills. And the sad truth is, unless you see it for yourself, unless you truly see it firsthand. Like I said, when I was living in Alaska, I'm 3+ hours from the grocery store. Here in Hawaii, I go to the recycling center myself. I do things all on my own storefront. Nobody comes up and picks up my trash for me, type of thing. Nobody comes and takes all of that away. So I see it firsthand. I see the oceans. I see where all of that goes firsthand. I live in a semi-off-grid community here where all the water that we use is directly affected and goes straight into the plantations, straight into the banana fields. You have to live very symbiotically with the land. That's what we've forgotten. That's what we've forgotten to do. We need to get rid of this monocropping, industrial, conscious consumer age and get back into the small farms, get back into these local communities. That's really where you're going to affect the most. That's really where you're going to get the most out of this. Not from Greta, not from these politicians, not from anybody else. They are not going to do a darn thing. You know why? Because it's about money. It's about getting you emotionally triggered so that you can get your money and get out there and vote and do all of these things. Guess what? The system isn't going to do anything. I'm sorry. I'm just more of a realist, I guess. It's something that I've been thinking about for a long time, and I don't want anybody to suffer. I want you guys to understand that what you have to do involves you. And telling your friends, telling your family members about this. That will eventually ripple out. Think about just the vegan movement alone. Like I said, I've been doing this 11 years now. And it's something that, in the beginning, nobody was vegan. Nobody knew what they were doing. There's no plant-based meats. There were no, fast food restaurants having plant-based options, vegan burgers, none of that stuff was around. And 10 years later, boom, it's like the biggest fad and thing that's happening. And guess what? It's going to be here. It's stuck because people are tired. People want to have a change. And it's finally happening. I'm excited about it. That's just one step though. That's just one thing. Hopefully this ripples out. Hopefully this ripples out into your other actions that you're taking in your life. Something that, really promotes change and growth, uplifting your consciousness. None of these words are going to trigger me. All these Greta videos, all this stuff that's popping around on social media is just child's play to me. We really need to act more ahimsa, more non-violent, just like Salman Thimakar here. She is an inspiring woman. I am so grateful for India and people, souls that have just are awoke to this actual light, this real information, this real truth. So that's why I did the post on Instagram. I apologize for everybody that got triggered, everybody that's, taking this for, they're taking just a few words and then trying to interpret it in exactly how they want in their own, internal belief system. And I totally understand that. I, again, am here for the light. I'm here for truth, transformation, growth, optimal performance, being green, going zero waste. How can you create that change in your environment? Tell me in the comment section below, what are you doing to create that change in your environment, right? What have you done in order to really be that change that you're looking for in this world? So thank you guys so much. I'm done rambling. This has been fun. Thank you all for being here. Much love. Until next time, namaste.